Well, welcome to Phoenix News here exclusively on Phoenix TV, and it's been a few weeks since we did this, so we'll try and do a quick run through of where everything is at, not only with the Phoenix but also with the very latest from around the BMI Baby Elite League. But I guess the burning question on everybody's mind is exactly where are the Phoenix up to with player signings for the forthcoming 2008-2009 season. Well, as you know, or hopefully you're aware, we've already announced that we've re-signed Carl Graham, that Phil Hamer, who practiced with the team and who dressed with the team for about 5 games last season, has also signed up and will be a Manchester Phoenix Elite League player next year. And we've also signed Luke Boothroyd, Great Britain defenceman, who's been with the Hull Stingrays for the last couple of years. Luke is originally from Huddersfield, and so actually he'll be playing for a team that's closer to his home as against playing for Hull next year, which is considerably further from the West Yorkshire town where he lives. Boothroyd is excited about coming to Manchester. Obviously he played for the Great Britain squad out in the World Championships in Austria, where Tony Hand was part of the coaching team, and Tony was impressed with what he saw from Luke Boothroyd. He didn't have a masses of ice time for the Great Britain squad, but he was impressed with the way he went about his business for the GB squad, and that prompted him to contact Luke, and actually was very surprised that the Hull Stingrays hadn't made him an offer to re-sign. And while the Stingrays were maybe a little bit slow out of the blocks, Tony took the opportunity to talk with Luke Boothroyd, and the deal was done very, very quickly. And as you now know, he is a Manchester Phoenix player for 2008-2009. Now, where else are the Phoenix going in recruiting, I hear you asking? Well, we can tell you, as we put out in the e-zine earlier this week, we've got 6 contract offers out currently with players. I can tell you here exclusively on Phoenix TV News that we have 4 verbal acceptances from players. Those contracts now have been formally sent to them in writing, and in time-honoured fashion we will announce those players just as soon as their signed contracts are received back in the office. We know we're getting a little bit of stick on the club's website forum about the fact that we're not releasing names, but we would look extremely dumb and you would be extremely angry if we were to announce that Joe Bloggs had signed for the Phoenix on a verbal agreement, and then something went pear-shaped and he went and signed for another club. Even worse, if he went and signed for another club in the UK. So that is the reason why we don't announce news when we have verbal acceptances from players. We wait until we've got the paperwork back in our grubby little hands, ready to submit to the Elite League, because once we've got that, barring something that goes totally against the grain, the player is ours for next season, and you'll be the first to know, either here on Phoenix TV or of course through the Phoenix website, and indeed the weekly e-zine that we hope you receive, providing we've got your email address, of course. As we said, 4 verbal agreements, one of which has only just come in today, this very day, Friday, and we're quite excited about that as well. As we said, contract paperwork has been sent. All being well, we'll get at least 1 or 2 of those back next week, and we'll hope to make a couple of announcements next week, which hopefully will invigorate the supporters for the early weeks of the summer. Tony Hand is very, very busy on the recruiting front, investigating a number of players, getting references and checks done on them, and obviously as the signing news comes in, you'll get it as quickly as we can possibly issue it. Now elsewhere, lots of rumours and innuendo and gossip. One of the biggest ones, or one of the funniest ones to my mind, was a link between the Manchester Phoenix and Ryan Schmeer. I can absolutely smear that one. Ryan Schmeer will not be joining the Manchester Phoenix. There has been no contact between the Manchester Phoenix and Ryan Schmeer, and no contact between Ryan Schmeer and the Manchester Phoenix. So quite where that story came from, I suspect it was from the Panthers' unofficial cage forum, probably from some Panthers fans who don't want Ryan Schmeer back. And we're not having a pop at Ryan Schmeer in any way, shape or form, but he's not the sort of player that Tony Hand wants to bring to Manchester, and so that one definitely will not be happening. Now elsewhere, let's go through the league in some kind of alphabetical order. Basingstoke, well, they've been a little bit quiet of recent. Their latest signing was Sean Thompson, who iced last year with the Bracknell Bees in the EPL, but with a lot of difficulties seemingly around the EPL. A lot of rumours this week that, well, not rumours, fact, the Chelmsford Chieftains have pulled out of the EPL to play in the ENL next season. Bracknell themselves are subject to a lot of doubt as to whether they'll go in the EPL next year. Hierarchical changes within the Sheffield Scimitars club could possibly see the Sheffield Scimitars not play in the EPL next year. That, I have to say, is conjecture. It is not confirmed, but certainly there have been some moves within the Scimitars club which may precipitate a change in their playing status for next season. One club who have definitely committed to the EPL next year, though, by the way, are the Telford Tigers. But as we said, Sean Thompson, who was with Bracknell last year, he's signed with the Basingstoke Bison. He's Ryan Aldridge's latest signing. Other than that, things are a little bit quiet on the signing front coming out of Basingstoke at this moment. Over in Belfast, well, they had an early rush of blood when they signed Colin Shields and a couple of other guys. They re-signed Stevie Lyle. The rumours are that Mark Dutium and George Awada will very shortly put pen to paper to return to Belfast for what would be probably their 4th and 5th seasons respectively. And there is rumours of an ex-NHL defenceman being courted by Steve Thornton and Todd Kelman to go and play in a Giants uniform next year. No name in the frame on that one yet, but those are strong rumours that they're using good connections in North America to try and bring in an ex-NHL D-man. Down in Cardiff, latest signing we understand is Mike Pipprich, who was with the Devils last year but suffered a season-ending injury, somewhat early in the campaign, but he has re-signed, and the Cardiff Devils will be hoping that they'll see the best of Mike Pipprich in the coming season. Coventry Blaze, well, we've all heard about the exits from Coventry Blaze, the most noticeable ones obviously being Neil Martin and Trevor Koenig. Roman Undur has gone, the Nigerian ex-NHLer. He's left the Coventry Blaze, more about him in just a moment. But the big news from Coventry this week was the signing of Scott Kelman, a former number 1 draft pick, or first round draft pick, and the re-signing of Dan Carlson, a signing that Paul Thompson says was absolutely crucial to the Coventry Blaze for 2008-2009. Rumours do still persist that the league's top goal scorer last year, Adam Calder, won't be a Coventry Blaze player next year. The Coventry Blaze naturally want to retain him, but we understand that there are serious overtures being made to Adam Calder by 2 clubs in Europe, one believed to be in Denmark and one possibly in Germany as well. Some big figures being mentioned in respect of Adam Calder. And as we know from other sport, well, money talks, and sooner or later the price will get to a stage where Adam Calder will be in a difficult position to refuse it, and the